So after an oil painting is dry, it's really helpful to varnish it. You really lose a lot of your deep values because we get something called sink in, where those, especially those browns and some of those earth tones really get flat looking. There's some areas that are shiny on the painting and some areas that are more dull. And I just want to create a consistent look. Before I varnish it though, I like to do an isolation coat. And that way, just in case we ever do have an issue with damage and the varnish needs to be stripped away, it won't damage the painting itself. I'm going to use a solvent-free gel here, or you could use a liquid or any fast dry medium. And I'm just going to rub it into a soft brush and just start painting it on, and you'll start to see right away. And there's some real glare here, so I know it can be tricky. I might try and turn this a little bit. You can already start to see some of those values coming out again. It's so much fun to do this step, where suddenly some of the complex colors that were happening in this shaded area here come out a little bit more. And just by turning that canvas this way and that, you can see which areas have been done. So I'm just going to brush this on. Again, your painting has to be fully dry to be able to do this with an oil painting. So let your painting fully dry and then just brush on a fast dry medium. I'm using Gamblin's soft gel or solvent-free gel medium. You could use a Galkyd. I love getting totally solvent-free, and the solvent-free gel isn't truly solvent-free from what I understand, but it is close enough. And the Galkyd, the Alkyd walnut medium, it just tends to bead up a little bit on the canvas. It doesn't work quite the same. So I use that Gamblin solvent-free gel, and I'm actually using a Kolinsky brush. The thing with fast dry mediums, and this is quite a nice brush, so I don't want to ruin, I'm going to have to go clean this brush immediately after, because that fast dry medium does dry fairly quickly. It could ruin that brush pretty quickly. So I might not normally reach for my nice Kolinsky sables for that, but that's the one I grabbed for this time. But just a soft brush of any kind. It could be any brush. And now trying to get that glare off the painting. Now you can see that the values have really come back out again. It's nice and shiny. If you want a matte finish on your painting, you can just spray a matte or paint on a matte varnish. So I'm going to show that as well, how I use a spray varnish to finish up a painting. I can't do it on this one because now this one's wet. This has got to dry. So I'm going to leave this painting and let this painting dry over the next day or two, and then I'll be able to spray finish it. But in the meantime, I can always demo on a different painting. And I'm using a spray, and this is just a spray that has a UV archival finish to it, and you can get it in anywhere from matte to glossy. I'm using a semi-gloss here. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to shake it up. I have a piece of cardboard. This is an old box that I have set up against anything. It could be, another box or something. And that way my painting is more up and down. I'm going to make sure there's no dust on the painting. Just going to clean that off with a soft cloth. And that painting I want it to be up and down so I don't get any splatters. Just spray, and I spray past the painting. So I'm going wider than the painting itself, back and forth, just a few times from about a foot away. So about 12 inches away from the painting, back and forth in overlapping strokes. Then I would turn it 90 degrees, and I would do the same thing again, overlapping strokes all the way down. Let that dry, and you can do a second coat later, and that should do it. I'm doing this outdoors because this is a varnish that is spray, and so I don't want to inhale it, and it's really smelly. It will keep your house smelling pretty badly for a long time. So I'll just leave this in my garage and let it dry on its own, and it should be dry within 24 hours or so. Then I can do my second coat. So that's how I varnish my paintings. You can also get paint on varnish, which is even better. So if you're not in a hurry, you can always do this spray on varnish as your first coat, let it dry, then go downstairs to your studio or wherever your studio is and paint on another coat of varnish as well, and just get a nice solid coat of varnish. That's it.